Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher, and welcome to another session of Not Perfect Zen. I hope you're doing well. My reminder for today is anything is possible, one stroke at a time. This was a little sticker that I got with one of my last things that came from Zentangle, and I made a little card out of it. Isn't that cute? Today we're going to use a Zentangle white tile, 3.5 inch. I'm going to be using a red Micron, and I just happen to have it in an 005. Of course, you can use anything that you want, any colors that you would like. Micron 01, a graphite pencil, which is just a number 2 pencil without an eraser, and a blending tool known as a tortillion. And I keep this in there to keep the tip pushed out because I'm kind of heavy-handed. And what I'm going to show you today is something simple. And I know I've just kind of jumped right in, but I found this actually this morning and thought, well, wouldn't that be just a fun, easy monotangle? It's very pretty too, and it's called Balawat by Burley, and I found it on the Monotangle site. And I've struggled with trying to find something that I wanted to teach, and I totally blame it on brain fog from my chemotherapy. But I wanted to get this done because I have chemo coming up this week, which means that brain fog will just get worse. But it's okay. I believe that it is killing the cancer, and that's all that matters. Okay, so again, this is just one pattern that we're going to do today called Balawat by Burley. And we're going to start with our 4 corner dots. And just very light border. And you could even do this even smaller, like, you know, really tiny size inside, and put other patterns around it. I was just happy to decide on something to teach. Okay. The next thing that we do is we're going to put these circles in the center. And don't get ahead of me because I'm going to do some of this in black and some of it in red. I saw one that was done in the Mosaic app that was on a beige tile, but I thought, oh, that's really pretty. So I'm going to kind of eyeball it to find the center, and just one simple orb, and then we're going to put an orb around that. Okay, mine's not exactly centered, and that's okay. And then we're going to put an aura around that. Okay, and I'm going to do the flower in the center, and then this grid in red. So the next thing we're going to do is the petals. And I'm going to aim for that corner and just a simple C curve. Make our first petal, and then come back down. And then I'm going to put an aura inside of that. Okay, Very simple. And then we're going to do that on all 4 sides. My petals are not going to be exactly the same size, and that's okay. All right, inside your petal. Okay. This is a very simple but pretty pattern. For me, it was very relaxing to do this. I need easy patterns right now. Yeah, I get pretty amazed at the brain fog. I've never had a really good memory, but now it's even worse. Okay, so we've got our 4 petals, and then the next thing I'm going to do is these little decorations in between each petal. And I'm just going to come up and start with an aura on each side. And then right here in the center, I'm just going to put like an upside down V, and then a curve connecting those sides. Okay, very simple. Okay, we're going to do that on all 4 sides. Okay, your little upside down V, and then connect. Turn and repeat. Okay, your V, and connect. These are also big enough that you could put any kind of pattern inside of them, but I am going to follow what Neil did. Okay, look, there we go. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so now I'm going to switch to the red. And again, this is an 05. That's just all that I had. And then all we're going to do here is put some simple petals, kind of like flux. Take your time, make them as big or as small as you would like. Okay, and then you can put the little hash marks inside. Okay, isn't that pretty? So now we're going to put the cross hatching in there like that. And this is where it was really, really relaxing for me this morning. Excuse me. You can make these go however you want to. I think in the step out, they were all going just straight across this way, but I like to just kind of freeform it. Freestyle it, is that how I should say it? And I'm not trying to get these exactly the same distance apart. Just simple lines. Yeah, this morning I had some nice, quiet, well, peaceful music going and doing this. And once you get one petal, you can remember how to do the others and then just relax and enjoy one line at a time. Okay, so there's that one, and then I'm just going to come across this way. So this will be coming up this week, my 6th chemo infusion in this series, and then hopefully we'll have a CT scan, and I am hoping that it is still working really well. I do appreciate so many people who send excuse me, thoughts and prayers. I appreciate those of you who share your tiles with me. I do want to say that Instagram has been really weird lately, so first of all, I'm trying to not stay on social media too much, but when I try to look at my comments and stuff on my computer, I can't click on the comment. I don't know if this makes sense. When you look at the notifications and I click on it, it doesn't go to it. Hopefully that makes sense. So my whole point in this is, if I have not left a comment on something that you tagged me in, number one, it's because I'm not on social media as much as I was. And when I see these comments, sometimes I can't get right to the post that had a comment in it. But I do appreciate all of you so very much. Thank you for watching my videos. I don't think I've had as many people watching lately. Well, number one, because I'm not doing as many videos, but because of that, YouTube doesn't show them. Doesn't bring it up in your feed. Okay. Just keep doing this cross hatching. I love cross hatching. I just think it's so cool. Okay, you could put patterns in here. I think I might have a reddish pastel pencil. I'm going to go get that and see about using that for shading in this. I really like using the pastel pencils to add a little bit of color. All right, we're almost done. But there's no rush. Just enjoy one line at a time. Cool. All right. Okay, I found my General's pastel chalk. This is Scarlet Red. I have a set of these that I got from Zentangle. And then I have a blending tool, a tortillion, that I keep a separate one for each color. So see, I have that one marked for red. And I have it sharpened. And I'm just going to go on the inside, right along the edge. Okay, and then just going to soften that and pull it toward the center. And what we're trying to do is keep it kind of dark next to the edge, and then just pull it out a little bit toward the center. And it gives it a nice look of some dimension. Okay, isn't that pretty? I'm going to do that in the center here. Just a little bit. And then soften that. All right, now we're going to do that on the other petals. And we point our pencil, whether it's a graphite pencil or pastel pencil, point it toward the line, and that way it's darkest right next to the edge. Okay, rather than doing it this way at this edge, I should have my pencil pointing this way. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, and soften that. Of course, you could do all four of them and then get your tortillion. Whatever makes you most comfortable. This is your art, your tile. I'm just giving you ideas. And I just love, there's so many of you that do such gorgeous tiles after I show you something simple. I love it. I used to do a lot more detail than this, but for now, this is easiest on me. I like easy and relaxing. And I know there are many people out there. I'm not the only person going through chemo or other problems. And I'm very happy for those of you who have said that these videos help you. I'm very happy for that. Okay, here's your reminder to breathe. Relax. I think this one's not as dark as those, so I'm going to add just a little bit more along here. just so they look the same. Not perfect, just better. Excuse me. Oh, see, I didn't do it the way I told you to. No mistakes, no right or wrong. Just have fun. Okay. Soften these. Okay, I'm just going to soften these a little bit more. We can put, let's see, a little bit of white charcoal down the center. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Give it a little bit of a sparkle or highlight. I don't think we can see it, but I'm going to go ahead and do it on all four. Okay, maybe not. Next, I'm going to do these. And I'm just going to put graphite along the inside of each of these. And I want to show you something. This is just a piece of like a plastic folder that I cut. And I'm going to put this down here to put my hand on. Can you see that? So that I'm not putting my hand on this area where I already have the pastel. So I'm not smearing it. And then I'm just putting a light amount of graphite along this edge. Okay, and then my tortillion for black. And then we're just going to go in and soften that, pull it in. Okay, and so I'm just going to kind of pull this in a little bit, just so I have a highlight right there in the center. Okay, there we go. And do that on all four. And this one you could also put something else inside, like printemps or tipple, or even the cross hatching, something like that. This would be pretty, maybe in the center of a Zendala. That's a good idea. And then put things around it. Okay, so we just put graphite along that edge. And now we're going to pull it in. Okay. And I still have my little plastic here. You could do, use just a plain piece of paper if you wanted to. One of the other CZTs that I've watched quite often, Debbie New, she does that. She has a piece of acrylic, I think, very thin, that she moves around. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Okay, now we're going to soften those. Okay, and then just softening those edges. Let's do the last one. Oh, it almost looks like a heart in the center. I am gonna say, what if we put just a little bit of gray or charcoal, graphite, whatever this is, around this flower. So I'm just using what's on my tortillion, going around it very gently. Okay, so that's something you can decide if you want to do that or not. All right, there we go. Just a very simple tile. So on the back, we want to put the name of the pattern. Balawat. I guess that's how you say it. And that's by Burley. Sign it. And put your chop wherever you would like it. I think I'll put mine here. All right, there we go. Very simple. I hope you enjoyed that. Here's the one from my sketchbook and the one we did today. And then that one. Remember, anything is possible, one line at a time. All right, thank you. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button, leave comments, subscribe, and share. And hopefully other people will see my videos and enjoy them too. Thank you. Come back again. Thank you so much, my friends. I'll see you next time. Bye.